The affirmative argues that it will bring that building the Keystone Pipeline will bring in a significant amount of crude oil from a reliable source instead of having to rely on countries that are hostile toward our government. However, according to Coral Davenport of the New York Times, she states that in a State Department review, they concluded that even if the pipeline were not built, global oil demand is such that companies would continue to develop the Alberta oil sands and bring the petroleum to market in other ways. For example, other ways of transportation are railways. To further back the idea of oil transportation by railways, Juliet L. Perrin of the Washington Post claims the State Department noted that there has been an expansion in oil shipments by rail in the past few years, and that Western Canada could have the capacity to load and ship 1 million barrels a day by rail by the end of the year. Additionally, the affirmative claims that the plans have been approved by the House, Senate, and TransCanada. However, as of last Tuesday, President Obama has vetoed the plans for the Keystone Pipeline, with the White House saying, the White House has said the President will decide whether to allow the pipeline when all the environmental reviews are completed in the coming weeks. This claim is made because of the type of oil that is extracted from the Alberta sands, bitumen oil. The process of how it is extracted was explained by Michael S. Williamson of the Washington Post, saying, first the trees such as jack pines in the northern Alberta region are cut. Then the peat and surface soil is stripped away to expose the oil sands. The sands are crushed, mixed with warm water, and separated at a plant. The bitumen then remaining is mixed with lighter oil so that it isn't too thick to flow through a pipeline. Left behind a denuded landscape and toxic tailing ponds. The companies keep topsoil in piles for use in the efforts to restore the land later, but restoring wetlands is difficult. Increasingly, companies are using other extraction techniques, for example, as pumping steam underground to melt the sands and suck up the bitumen. And according to Julia Elperman again, this process of bitumen extraction has 15% more greenhouse gas emissions than other techniques of drawing out oil. Additionally, NASA climate scientist James E. Hansen, who just retired from his federal job so he can become a full-time climate activist, said if all the oil was extracted from the oil sands, it would be game over when it came to the effort to stabilize the climate. Additionally, our atmosphere isn't the only environmental issue at stake. They fail to mention the severity of what a spillage would do to our land, especially in Nebraska. In Nebraska, there is one of the largest underground freshwater sources, the Ogallala Aquifer. It is so large that if you were to drop it over the continental U.S., it would cover the land in 2 feet of water. This water is used for drinking and for watering crops across the Midwest. University of Nebraska civil engineer professor John Stansbury predicts that in the 50-year lifespan of the pipeline, there would be 91 leaks that could potentially put 6.5 million gallons of tar sands oil in the Ogallala Aquifer and essentially contaminating our drinking water. This is a very serious issue because now this directly impacts the lives of American citizens. If or when the leak happens, if this pipeline is constructed, this will not only become an environmental issue, but also a health issue concerning Americans. Because it is safe to assume that drinking water with oil in it is bad for your health, and same goes for our crops.